Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you the process of painting my own wedding invitations. I painted 7 of them and we did a really small wedding. We just invited our very best friends. And so I only gave away 5 of these and I kept 2 just because I wanted to keep some. And I made more than I needed on purpose for that reason. And I really enjoyed the process of these. I have to say it didn't take that long to do all of those. I used Arteza watercolor cards. I still have a few of those left over. And usually when I do cards of any kind, I use those. And I enjoy the paper for mixed media stuff like I did here. So right now you can see the very first one appear. I started them all with watercolors, then I added a bit of gouache, and then I finished it off with some colored pencils. And there is a tape there in the center top section, I would say. And this is so that later on I can write the word invitation. It is the German word for invitation, Einladung. And I wrote that there on all of them. So they all are individual. Every single one of them looks different, but they all have a common theme. And I don't honestly remember who I sent which of them. We just randomly picked, I think. And so I don't really know who got which, but I think my friends sent me pictures of them, so I could look that up. And the general theme with the invitations was obviously flowers, as you can see, because they're just fun and I like to paint them and they make sense for a wedding. And I picked a purple, pink, and green theme. Those are my favorite colors in combination for art, but also for our wedding. It just happened to work out like that. I was wearing this lilac dress and my wife wore a green sort of suit. It wasn't a full suit, but it was green. And I think it fit together really nicely. I will insert photos here. And we got married in June, so it's been a few months now, and just taken me a bit to edit this and put this video out there. I am very unsure of how interesting this is going to be to my audience to show these, but basically these are card painting ideas. Like, they're similar to my usual content in that way. I did 7 individual paintings that look different, but they are based on a theme, all of them. And we have the flowers, and there's also some leaves there. You may or may not have noticed them. They are Swiss chard, actually, like the salad that has the colorful parts in between, like the veins of the leaves are often pink or orange or yellow. And I just went for, I think I did pink and purple for all of them just to fit the color scheme. Here you can see me sketching out the words. I'm still not the best at lettering. Whenever I say that, then people comment that it's not that bad, but I don't really feel that confident whenever I do fonts. And every time I say that I want to improve it, but then I never really take the time to improve it. One day, hopefully, I will sit down and practice hand lettering or calligraphy. I just winged it a little bit here. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. I think they look okay. They didn't ruin the invitations. Like, the lettering didn't make them look too bad. I think could have been better, could have been worse, but overall I'm really happy with how all of them turned out and just with the theme of it all. So this first one is now coming to an end, if that makes sense. I'm doing the finishing touches here with the colored pencils, just bringing out some of the contrast. And here is the very first one done, and now I am doing the second one. I honestly thought that this one here was the first one that I did. I must have remembered it wrong. And also I did all of them simultaneously, but for the sake of the video, I edited in a way where you can see one after the other being finished, because that is just so much nicer to look at than just scattered footage all around. But I did the 3 stages I think I did 4 of them simultaneously, and then I did the other 3. So here, obviously, some time has passed when I then did the gouache, because it all had to dry, and because I did a lot of water with the watercolors, it took a bit to dry. And we are going to move a bit faster with each and every one of them so that the video is interesting enough to watch. I didn't really explain why the Swiss chart, so let me explain. It's because my wife and I, we decided to pick our own last name. And first we wanted a different name, one that was flower related. Maybe somebody can guess it, because it was very similar to the one that we ended up going with. But we couldn't have that name, because in Austria you can pick your own name. You have to pay like quite a bit. It was several €100, but you can pick your own name if you want. You don't even have to get married. I changed my name first, and then my wife got it through marriage. So you could, if you wanted to, just go ahead and pick a new last name or first name or whatever you want. You just have to pay the fee, unless it is the case that your name is really obviously and objectively terrible for some reason. Then I think you don't have to pay the full fee. But the name that we originally wanted, we couldn't have it, because you can only pick one that already is registered in your country. And there were people in Germany and other countries all over, I think a lot of them in the UK and a lot in Spain, that had the name that we wanted, but nobody in Austria was registered with that name. So I sat there, had all the documents, signed everything, and then this person tells me I can't have it. So that was a bit of a slap in the face. And then we began the search for another name, but it has to be one that already exists, which is really hard, because it seems like there's a small variety of names here in Austria that are already out there. And we don't like these very German, Austrian sounding names. That's one of the reasons why we wanted a new one. We wanted something that is not typically something you would find here, but also not so out there that you can't pronounce it. We wanted something that's easy to spell. It should kind of work in English and in maybe other languages as well. And people should know how to spell it immediately if you say it, at least here in Austria. And we just came up with so many words that we liked. We listed every single type of gemstone, herbs, plants, so many things. And we couldn't really find something that already existed and that we liked. That proposed such a big challenge. And also phone books and stuff like that, they don't exist anymore. So it's really hard to know which names already exist. And you have to type this specific name into the website to know if the name exists. There's no list of names. But then I found a list from like 1700 something. And I found a word that is very similar to the one we were originally going for, but instead of flower, it means salad, or like a Swiss chard. It is the German word for that, and we went for that. And the word is mangold, and in English, I guess you would pronounce it mangold. We wanted the word gold in there because we really like that association. It's warm, it's shiny, it's like it is worth a lot of money. I don't know. It just has good associations, but we didn't want just gold. So we really looked for different things there, and we spent a lot of time thinking about that. And then we came up with that. And originally, our friends, some of them thought that we're crazy, because why would you call yourself like Swiss chard? Why would you pick a salad? A very bitter one as well. But then I tried, I don't think I had tried, at least not consciously tried, Swiss chard before, and that all of those thoughts were going on at the beginning of that year, so it was still cold outside. And we found a small salad package in the supermarket, and we tried the Swiss chard, and we tried whether we could call ourselves that, basically. And it was very bitter. I don't specifically love the taste, but then I read about it, and it has healing properties, and it is extremely healthy. And then I thought, why not call myself after a bitter vegetable? I love salad, and sometimes I'm bitter, I suppose, and it is very healthy. It can even help with cancer, I think I read. So many things. So yeah, we settled for that, and we picked that name in the end. And now I am already very used to it, because I've had this last name for a while. And yeah, our wedding was also really nice, really small. We just went in there, we signed the document. It was really, really short, and we didn't really know what to do. Like, she didn't really tell us what we had to do while it was going on, so we were a bit confused. But it was really chill, and I'm glad that we did it that way, because we really thought how we wanted to do it. And the thought of planning a big event that I'm the focus of and my wife is the focus of, it just filled us with dread, essentially. But we wanted to get married to be married and not to have a wedding. I know a lot of people really, really love weddings, and they think about their wedding all their life, and it's the biggest day of their life and all of that. For us, it was more, we wanted to have something nice and chill, and just to do it so we're married, because that's the end goal. And it was really nice to be with our friends, and then we just went for lunch, I would say. Yeah, it was lunchtime, and had some nice food and took some pretty pictures next to the lake. And it was raining a little bit, which we didn't mind, because I personally really like rain, and it was the perfect weather for photos, and it wasn't really cold, it wasn't really hot either. So all in all, it was really nice, really short, and yeah, obviously, we've been married ever since, and these are the invitations that I created, and I'm really proud of all of them. If there had been one that I don't like, I don't think I would have sent it out. At first, I debated on just doing the watercolor, but I felt like it just needed a bit more refinement, because it felt too important to have these really loose watercolor florals that I wasn't 100% happy with. So I went over them quite a bit, and I'm happy that I did, because the way that they look now is really nice. And I think that I picked a good style for them. And I also managed to put the vegetable in there in a way that it doesn't look that weird. And funnily enough, one of our friends ordered food that then had the Swiss chard in it. And the restaurant, they didn't know about that, I don't think. But it was really funny that it was there. And ever since then, we have been noticing when it is somewhere, when somebody eats it, or it is in our meals. And I enjoy the way that the word sounds. So yeah, I did 7 of them, like I said, and now I am finishing off the last one. So here's all of them together, and all of them have slightly different colors, but all of them still have the same vibe overall. I really encourage you to create your own invitations to events, whatever it might be, or create cards, because this is such a fun and personal thing to do. If you'd like to see some more creative art ideas, then check out this video next.